See, way back in Fiji, when we are growing up, we are very much into spirituality, and we just whatever we've been told about God or religion or something, we just don't question it. We just took it. And one of the things which I really enjoyed, even with growing up, is being spiritual. Like we were very much connected with spirituality. My father was not into that. My father was always into service. His spirituality was when he used to serve people, building houses and all those things. That was his service. He never sat down and did prayers. But for me, I feel that I was totally opposite. And we grew up in a spiritual home and village and everything. I used to be attending lots and lots of spiritual functions which to have. And in back home in Fiji, we used to have small organizations called Mandali, where all this group of children and families, they get together and they do singing hymns and singing special scriptures and all those. So every week I was involved with that. And that was how I grew up into spirituality, and I just really enjoyed it. But unfortunately, what happened, one time I got very sick, and sick with some stomach pain. So I used to attend one of the village temples not far from my home, and I used to go there all the time because every Sunday we used to go there for fun. All the kids used to get together for fun. But there, this great personality, he used to look after the temple, and lots of divine energy used to come through him, which we believe, most of us Hindus, we believe that the God spirit comes through them and they can help you with your healing. So what happened, I had a very bad stomach problem. And all the doctors where I went, the GP and hospitals, they couldn't fix it. So I went to this particular temple, and this priest, he had the divine energy to tell me what was wrong. He didn't say what was wrong to me, but he gave me a niyam. Niyam means some spiritual practices which you need to do for certain days, and he told me to do these prayers, and you come after 1 week, and then you might get better. So I did whatever was being told to do for 1 week. I became vegetarian, and I was not eating anything and just really focusing, praying to my God. And in a week's time, yes, that stomach pain was gone. And then when I went back to the temple, the master actually blessed me, and then he said, you always do the puja or prayers to this particular God, and that actually really helped me. Yeah, and that's how I started to feel that there is God living in every humanity. There is a spirit, some sort of good spirit which is living in people's, and people do get lots and lots of good energy to heal others. So that's how I think so. That was my first experience which I had, that God lives in man. Yeah. So that was wonderful. Another thing, then I started going to that temple, right? And I was regular to that temple. Every Sunday, like everyone goes to the church, I used to go to that temple. So every Sunday I used to go. So, I was quite deeply involved. I was only 13, 14 years old with my other friends. So I used to go there all the time. And one night there was a special prayer which was done to the sea god. They say we have to go to the ocean to do a special prayer. And I was a kid, and I used to go with my friends and every time for that prayer. So one time, one evening, we went there to that ocean, and to do some prayers over there. So the main priest, he went into the ocean, and I and all the other people who were there in the temple, they all went in the middle of a ocean sort of thing, like how your neck deep or chest deep, and then we all stayed in front of the temple. It was quite scary at the same time because it's the ocean, and quite. In the middle of nowhere, in the ocean. And then the prayer was done in the middle of the ocean. Like they offer some a special drink which is called kava in Fiji. They offered it to the ocean, the ocean god. They say to the Takuanga, the Fijian god, and a special prayer was done. And we did the offering. The priest did the offering, and we were all witness of being there, So he did the prayers and lots of chanting and everything. And as the chanting was going on and when the offering was done, we saw a huge shark. This came around us. And we were all very scared, And the priest said, "Don't worry about it. He's the shark god, which is called Dakuanga. He actually came to accept our prayers." So, and when we did the prayers, and he was gone, we saw the fin, and then he was around, and then after that he went. So when we came back to the shore, and we heard a big, huge sound of someone, like a big whale has jumped into the ocean. So that was some amazing experience which I had encountered when I was in Fiji in relation to the sea god, So from that time, as growing up, I had so many experiences of how the earth is just not ordinary earth. There's so much spirits and there's so much power in this earth and elements on this earth. So it's very interesting. And so we were all growing up, back home. My mother was really working hard to, give us education and all those. She used to, poor thing, she didn't go to work for somebody, but what happened, she used to make sweets and ice blocks and, sweets, sewing clothes and all sorts of things to earn a living, to make us grow.